Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe the world just might have ended. Earlier this week, I read that Willie Nelson stopped smoking pot. Lifelong pothead Willie Nelson, whose music some know and love, has quit smoking marijuana. I want to talk about that tonight. A little bit about my history with that substance, and I want to hear about yours. We're going to have a panel show tonight. Stay with us. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show. That show that invites you to be a live video guest on this program to talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. Tonight is Sunday night. Tonight we do panel shows, and what I have migrated toward is a panel show with substance, with a reason. I want to cover subjects. I want to hear your opinions, a group of people, hear your opinions. I don't select this group. You guys are welcome to come up at any time and talk about the subject at hand. The subject at hand tonight is Mary Jane, ganja, pot, dope. Oh man, there are hundreds of street names for this currently classified Class 1 drug. Sounds like the type of show that you enjoy. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. Now, joining the show is super easy. All you've got to do is point your browser to zoom.us, click on join a meeting, and when it asks for it, enter in that meeting number. You will show up in my green room. On a one-on-one night, I'll bring you up one at a time, first come, first serve. On a panel night, I'll bring in people at random, and we can talk about this. For as long as we talk about it. Normally I'm on for about an hour. And by the way, my name is Jim. I am your host of the Video Call-In Show. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us tonight. I do appreciate it. We've got a quite a lively chat thus far, which is always nice to see. Let me say hello to the early adopters, those brave enough to come into the show that is certain to become demonetized. We've got American Gold Prospectors. How are you? Good to see you as always. We've got Jesse Mendez. Good to see you again, my brother. Jesse Mendez is already in the queue to come up, so that's awesome. I knew for some reason, I just knew Jesse would come up. I'm waiting for Ed to come in. I would think that Ed would have a whole lot to say on this subject. Jack, no, how you doing? Good to see you. Infinite Moi. Happy Sunday evening to you, my friend. Happy Sunday evening. 400 AGL, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. We've also got Brandon B. Did it just start? Nope. Did it just start? Dope. Yeah, dope just started. It says I'm always popping up at the perfect time. I'm going to take that as a compliment, Brandon B., but thank you so much. Weigold's Metal Detecting Adventures, how are you? Good to see you. Drone Kings in Darwin, Brad, always good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Guys, some people have a lot of theories about why Willie Nelson quit. I'll tell you, I'm just gonna do this right here because I can. This is from USA Today, dated the 4th of 2019, and it says Willie Nelson has quit smoking marijuana for health reasons. I have abused my lungs. He goes on to, let's just say that he's 86. He started smoking in 1954, a whole 2 decades prior to my foray into the activity. I love when he says, I started smoking cedar bark. Went from that to cigarettes to whatever, he said. That almost killed me. Not too long ago, he was saying that marijuana saved his life, and they linked to a story on that as well. Oh, man, I hate when that happens. Yes, it said it did not save his life. Smoked his first joint in 1954. Has become synonymous with marijuana smoking. Who among us has not known about that? And he says keeping his lungs healthy is paramount, especially when performing. He says your lungs are the biggest muscle you've got. So when you're out there working, you're working up. I agree on that, all except for the assertion that Lungs are muscles. Lungs are not muscles. Lungs are driven by muscles. But Willie, I'm just going to say it up front. I'm glad he did. Now, that may lead you to believe that I am anti, and it could not be further from the truth. I think what I should do is give you a little bit of background on my experience with this particular drug. I'll start out this way. I am a child of the 70s. And as a child of the 70s, I was exposed to a lot of things. A lot of activities, I'll say, a lot of drugs. I don't even know that I've told my son this. My wife knows. I said, but I smoked my first joint when I was 10 years old. Me and my childhood friend, Andy, got it from his brother. He had like five brothers. Most of them were older than him. And I'll never forget it. We ran out to his, his little fort, his playhouse sort of thing. Homemade, you wouldn't believe it. And we lit up and we smoked it. And for real, not the Clinton way where you didn't inhale it. We smoked it for real. And I got to tell you, that started me on a journey. Well, as you know, that my first concert was only a year later, and I can remember smoking it there. Yeah, and I must have been, just over, it must have been 11 years old. It was 1974. And that continued until my junior year in high school, the end of my junior year in high school. I was one of those guys who ended up, it's probably why I didn't go into music. I mean, we talked about this the other night. I was one of those guys who just about every day, and it's not something I'm proud of, obviously, but it was at one time, it was a big part of my life. And at that point, I just, I thought this is, actually it was earlier than that. It might've been the end of my sophomore year. So, for 6-7 years solid, I was into that sort of thing quite heavily. And it was at that point, I said, this can't be a good path. I started not liking the way it made me feel. And I just completely quit. I've just absolutely stopped. And of course, then I became the guy, where they'd if I was at a party or anything and one was being passed around, I was like, oh, that's right, you're the guy who quit. So I was kind of a poor man's celebrity at that time. But I was okay with that. I was absolutely okay with that. And it's not like I wore it as a badge of honor. I just didn't want to do it anymore. There are hundreds of things that you do or you want to do, and maybe you do them for a long time, and then you don't do them anymore just because you've decided, right? I said, this can't be a good path. It's starting to get expensive as hell. Don't like the way it makes me feel. So I just stopped. And it was cool. Yeah, it was a stage infant. Why? You could say that. You could absolutely say it was a stage. There's a lot more dark and deeper things that went along with that, but it wasn't because of marijuana. I'll just say that. So yeah, I want to hear your guys' story on this. I want to hear about, as soon as we get more than just one visitor in here, we can talk about, are we going in the right direction with legalization? Even if it's just for medical purposes. I want to know what your guys' opinion is on that. What did you do? What's your experience with marijuana, if any? If you say that no, that's cool too, because I don't think that you could have grown up, at least in the United States, and not have been exposed to it at one time or another. I just don't think that's possible if you're still, and well, even my 90-year-old father-in-law tried it once with his son. I was there. It was sign of the times, and he was one of those guys where he just, I'm not feeling anything. Of course, could have been beer. And oh, what do we got going in here? We got Blaze it. Hello, Ghana. How you doing? Good to see you. And of course, we've got Pixelpia in the house. I don't know why it's not showing me all of the chats. I don't think. Am I missing some chats? Hell, you say, son. Oh, I am indeed. Hello, Pixelpia Teaching and Learning. Good to see you. I saw somebody else a second ago. But yeah, it's. I do want to say that I don't regret it, and I'm going to give you my position on the issue if that'll help. I think it's high time that we. No pun intended. It's it's about time we do legalize marijuana. I don't see it as any more of a societal danger than alcohol. If it were legalized right now, it's a danger because it's illegal and it drives it underground. And well, for the most part, I mean, I believe there are 33 states at last count that have legalized medical marijuana. And and what is it, 18 that have actually legalized? I've got actually 20 interesting facts here about marijuana. And I'll just run through them. So, number of U.S. states that have decriminalized pot, 10. They're okay. Plus the District of Columbia, which I find fascinating. This is as of June this year. It may have changed. The number of U.S. states where medical marijuana is legal is 33. This when we get into money. Projected amount of legal marijuana sales in the U.S. in 2019, 12 billion. $12 billion dollarinis. There's a good example right there. My son, Champ Works Garage. How you doing, son? I just saw him. In fact, I was out there all day today. Says that he's been around it a ton, but have never done it, and that's okay if he's lying. He's 30 now. He's got a family. I know it's not a part of his life. If he were to tell me down the road that I just didn't want to tell you or something like that, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, he says he's never used it, and I believe him. But good answer, says Brad. But really, I'm one of those parents that totally understand. I mean, especially given my background. I've told you guys several times that the one thing I planned on early was not telling my son some of my exploits, the exploits of my youth, until he was old enough, right? And I've been leaking them out here in a little bit since he's been of drinking age, because we'd like to sit back and share a few brews here and there. But I've kept a really I've kept some to myself, and I'm going to bring him into that. Hello, Patty Broussard. How are you? Good to see you. Graced by God, how are you? Good to see you as well. Thanks for being here, Mr. Lodak. Hello, Jaron. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Let's see. I think I'm up to speed on the chat. I hope so. Jelly Duck 100. No, I'm not. How you doing, Jelly Duck? Good to see you, man. So, not a great gamer. How you doing? Okay, so where else was I? Okay. Hang in there, Jesse. We'll get some more guests here soon. Guys, this is a panel show. You're more than welcome to jump up and discuss this issue. I want to know how you guys feel about its impending, I'll say impending legalization across the board. I think it's unavoidable now. I think it's going to happen. I want to know how you guys think about it. So the amount of legal marijuana sales in the U.S. in 2018 brought $8 billion. You can see why this is going to happen. I mean, already that's legal marijuana sales of a very small amount of states that have legalized marijuana, but then those that are selling medical marijuana adds up to 8 and 12 billion a year industry. That's something you cannot ignore. Tony, if Tony from Viewed This was here, he'd probably be able to tell us how that compares to the alcohol industry, but it's got to be closing fast. The amount of the legal marijuana industry earned in 2016 was between 4 and 44.5 billion. Okay. The increase in legal marijuana revenue from 2015 to 2016 was more than 30%. These are starting to get boring. Revenue for the legal marijuana industry in 2017, 10 billion. Okay, now we're going. I'm gonna pass up some of these. Projected amount the legal marijuana industry could be worth by 2026, and I have to imagine that is weed. There's a good one. Hey guys, that's interesting. In the chat, Every type of slang term you've heard for marijuana, throw in there right now if you would. This ought to be interesting, because I threw out about I don't know, 4 or 5 of them. I want to know what you guys have called it around the world. That'll be interesting. Any slang term you can for marijuana, let me know in the chat. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, percentage of Americans that support marijuana legalization, 60%. That was as of April 22nd, 17. And reported percentage of beer drinkers in the U.S. that have substituted cannabis for beer, or would if it was legal in their state, is 27%. That's almost 1/3. Interesting. All right, let me got a couple of you in here. You guys are still more than welcome to jump on. I will limit it to a certain amount of people, only because we don't want it to get too crowded and have too many people trying to talk at once. But you guys are more than welcome to jump in. And we'll wait. Can you hear me, Jess?
I hear you.
Awesome. How you doing, man?
All right. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Waiting for Ghana to know that I've called her up.
I saw her face there a second ago. That's her picture.
Yeah. Yep.
So, which way do you want to go? Do you want to go on the recreational, the medical, the historical, the legal? What do you want to touch on?
Oh, man. Well, Jesse, like I said, I just want to hear your opinion. Where do you think we should go with this? Is the important part.
Well, personally, I think marijuana should be legalized. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But,
same here.
I'll tell you how I got started. Of course, I was born in 1950, so I grew up during the 60s and the 70s when it became prevalent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that it wasn't already around, because it was. I used to get into an argument with a guy at work every day about dope, how bad it's for you. I was totally against it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And he said something to me that made me think. He says, how can you argue a point if you have never tried or don't know anything about it? And I go, you know what, Dave, you're right. How can I argue? How can I honestly argue against something I have no knowledge of? So we went out and smoked some weed and popped some acid. And I mean,
oh man, dude, go big or stay at home.
When I go in.
Yeah, go big or stay at home.
Exactly. So yeah, that was my indoctrination to smoking weed. It was very pleasant. I enjoyed the hell out of myself. Had a good time. Me and him became lifelong buddies. I mean, forever friends till he died.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Jeff.
Yeah, he got T-boned by a drunk driver. I hate drunk drivers.
Oh yeah.
By the way.
Oh yeah, we've covered that one, haven't we?
Yes, we have. So yeah, I've been smoking since I was 18 years old. I probably really haven't missed a whole lot of days where I wasn't smoking at least one joint.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of reasons that it should be legalized. First of all, up until the 30s, it was legal.
Oh yeah.
In fact, during World War II, it was mandatory that if you had a victory garden, you grew hemp in your garden.
It was that way in the 1700s. Also.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. In the beginning of the colonies.
Constitution's written on hemp paper. The Constitution ship. Reagan was hemp.
All the sails, the rope, everything, clothes.
Yep.
So the reason it should be legalized is not because of the joint, because the joint is not the point. the point of legalizing is to be able to use this plant that was put on this earth for our use it to make paper, use it to make cloth, use it to make fuel. You know, Henry Ford.
Standard Oil is part of the reason why it's illegal today.
Yeah, exactly. When Henry Ford designed the assembly line,
Yeah.
for making cars, he also designed a process for taking hemp seed and turning it into fuel. His cars were supposed to run on fuel.
That's renewable energy. Ghana has something. Ghana has some.
Was Ghana raising her hand?
Yeah, I'm not saying Ghana's a pothead, but she did come onto a pot show. And Ghana, how you doing?
I have never wore a pot on my head.
No, neither have I.
What's that?
Here you got me.
Oh, we can't hear you, hon. Make sure the correct mic is chosen.
Oh.
Did she just cuss me out?
I still can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Put down my green screen because I don't want people to see my dryer.
We still know it's there, Ed.
Yep, we do.
No, still can't hear you, Ghana.
She's working with it.
Okay.
Now she's muted. Was she just say fucking shit?
Fuck, I don't know.
That's okay, Ghana. Keep trying.
just jump in when you can.
Yep, just jump in when you can. Hey, gamer.
Queen Victoria used cannabis resin for menstrual cramps and PMS in the 1800s to 1837 and 1901.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's Queen Victoria, is that? I'm assuming that was first.
Yes. Yep, Queen Victoria.
Wow. So medical marijuana goes way back.
Well, yeah. I mean, most of our medicines come from plants, so it kind of makes sense that would come from there. You would have some.
I've never had any medicines made from beef. So yeah.
From what? Beef? No.
Or was that beets?
Did you say beef or beets?
BEEF. F.
Beef.
Oh, beef.
Finger. F for Freddy. F.
Right. Cows.
I like actually saying that. I like going when you do the telephonics on the telephone. G for gnome. It always confuses them.
Oh, Ghana, I feel for you.
Come on, Ghana.
We're so pulling for you. We are so pulling for you over here. She's listening to us. Oh, what I miss in the chat? What were you talking about, Ed? You said you might as well get paid for the ads. Oh, yeah. Did you hear all about that, Ed?
No, I had to watch 2 ads before it would let me in when I.
Oh man. Well,
you have to watch the first one, but then you can
monetize. I think you're already verified. Get monetized, get approved, and earn pennies at least. It's something.
Well, you're too late, Ed. I have. And yeah, you missed the show. The whole idea was that they were already running ads on my videos, and I thought, well, they're not going to take all the money, right? So I went ahead and turned that part of it on, and so yeah, that's why you're seeing a couple ads. Well, that
okay.
Yeah, in addition to them running them.
I've missed so many shows lately.
Oh, that's okay, dude. That's okay. I understand. You have to get up early, but I did that so that they. For 2 reasons. 1, so they didn't take all the cash, and 2, if I didn't turn on monetization, then I don't get support. And doing the kind of show that I do, at any moment, it could be a Cab 7, a Pusta, or a Wacky, that sort of thing, and I'm gonna need to contact YouTube. So
yeah, but your show is in S4S type networking type thing, support type thing anyway.
That's true.
I really like Andrew and his wife in Pusha Studios. I even like Green Bay Wacky. But you know, I get like a feeling of it's more of a YouTuber support each other type stream.
Yeah, but there's just been some people who have botted them lately and shut them down, you know, by complaining about them or something. And people are going to do that. You know, it's just going to happen.
It seems like that's. I don't go into many of them anymore because it seems like there's a lot of hostile drama between a bunch of others.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of it is jealousy.
Nag shaking his head. Yes.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna disrespect, but yeah.
No, but that's why.
I don't want to disrespect any of them.
No,
Right.
no, I mean me, sir. Me, Ned, not you. I meant me.
No, I hear you, Nag, but
No, that's the only. We can leave it there. That's the only reason I turned them on, Ed. Yeah, I needed the support, and I wasn't going to see them take all the money, right?
I hear you, brother. They're gonna do it anyway, so you might as well get your pennies.
Exactly. And I'm
Until
on the
you
road.
have 100,000 subs or 1 million subs, and then you could retire more.
Oh yeah, I'm on the road to tens of dollars. So a year.
To be fair, Ed, your Flash fam thing is pretty big though. You get like 40 people in there.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not as if you're struggling, dude. You're doing all right.
Sometimes a little
I mean
better. I would like to see it get more, but hey, it is what it is. I'm in there for the long haul, right, Jesse?
That's right.
Race.
Oh, we got Ghana back.
Yeah, I got it back.
Oh yeah, and I need to give Ghana a
Big shout out.
Am I here? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey.
Oh my God!
Yay, Ghana.
Yeah.
I was losing it over here. Holy
Yes,
Oh.
we saw.
We read the lips. Yeah.
We saw.
Shout out.
I'm sorry.
Oh, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Oh,
So
Hello.
I'm
the
not even high.
Oh well, you can't be on the program. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Oh,
So yeah, let's get back to the subject. Is that a pit bull?
That was for Ghana.
That's the subject, ain't it?
Yeah, it was a subject.
Well, since my partner left me, I can't get a woman, so I've had to downgrade a bit.
You sure it's a downgrade?
It's a good looking dog.
This is my baby. This is Mr. Shads.
Mr. Schatz?
Yeah, and that's Bella Boo.
Bella Boo.
Nice looking dogs are.
They are good looking dogs.
Thank you.
I
made them
was
myself.
set back when I first came in because Nag wasn't in blacklight with his mask on, and I'm like, what's up?
Now she's fucked off, I don't have to worry about it, do I?
Now he's throwing caution to the wind.
Oh boy. A wild and crazy guy.
People are dangerous, but
I'll tell you what. There we go. We'll add some mystery to it. No, it's not a great neighbour. It's good to see you guys again. It really is. I've missed this.
Oh, it's good to see you too, man.
Missed you during Tuesday night Ain't Out Live too.
Oh, sorry. Am I contractually bound to visit all of your streams?
No, not at all.
I love your streams. You know I do, buddy. I still think Place of Chase is a bloody bot to this day.
No, he's a real mate.
So, Ghana, as a pothead. No, I'm kidding. Kidding.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, everybody, I should say, we already heard from Jesse about his.
Oh, no, you haven't.
Well, we haven't heard everything from
I didn't
Jesse.
hear anything.
You didn't hear us either?
You could hear us?
Oh, that's
I
a
could
shame.
hear you, but I was too busy yelling.
Well, but rest assured, I did not call you a pothead when you couldn't hear anything. I'm kidding. What I do want to know is, What, do you think we're headed in the right direction? This is for all three of you, because Jesse's already told us what he thinks. With
yeah,
with
absolutely.
yeah,
Legalize it.
I think so too. Ed?
What? Legalize it all across every bit of the country.
Yes. Yes.
And I agree, except not for the same reasons. I have different reasons for wanting it legalized.
Like
than
what?
just smoking.
Way more.
I mean, like I said, the joint is not the point, right? The point is, if we were to use hemp instead of trees, we can make paper, we can make fuel, we can make food. You know that the seeds, when crushed and mixed, you can use as a food product.
And we can make love. Ooh, yeah.
And
yeah.
strongest structural lumbers are made out of hemp fiber.
Right.
You know, it was placed here for a reason.
Imagine instead of cutting down an acre of trees every 20 years and making paper from that, we could make that same acre produce 3 times the amount of paper that we would make in a year. Because you could, depending on the area, you could grow hemp 3 times a year, depending on where you lived, right?
Oh, it's a very fast growing plant.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in a year's time, you can grow enough hemp to make paper out of that same acre that it would take you 20 years using trees. Imagine that. Pia.
Hello, Pia.
Well, almost.
A panel high five.
So that to me is why it should be legalized. That and the medicinal purposes of uses for it. You can make clothes out of it. You can make rope out of it. And you know, that's why the Philippine Islands were so important during World War II. They were they grew a lot of hemp there,
Mm-hmm.
and we needed lots of rope for our ships.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was because strategically, the Philippines are in a very good area. I mean, you know, but as far as what they were for, we wanted to keep the Philippines in our possession or on our side for the rope.
I would also say that in addition to all those, Jesse, which are fantastic uses for a plant that we've literally been told we can't use, I think that the recreational use is as well, I would say nearly as important, because what happens is when it's been, you know, as it's been criminalized, so many people have suffered because of that. And if you were to legalize it, then that would change a lot of that suffering. Now, that's not to say that it wouldn't create its own societal problems. Let's not kid ourselves. But society, I think they're less than. Oh, I know, but it's you know, but I think
they don't need anything to be a problem. Society is a problem.
That's true, but I want your guys.
Have a bunch of people be high than drunk.
Honestly. Oh yeah, I hear you.
I'm like Jesse. I'm very not tolerant to drugs.
Right.
But you know, look how much of a failure the prohibition on alcohol was.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the prohibition of marijuana has been the same effect.
It's the same failure.
This was bad, yes.
Right. The same failure.
And just think of the organized crime they could solve by just legalizing it across the board.
Absolutely. Jesse, can you do me a favor? Jesse, can you do me a favor? You're using Zoom, right?
Yes.
Can you go in your settings and reduce your microphone a little bit? You're so much louder than everyone else.
He's not in Zoom, he's using Skype.
Yeah, Skype.
What are you?
If you're alone and you need a friend.
All right, I'm not even halfway up. How's that? Any better?
No, go down further.
Wait a minute,
microphone.
Pretty loud.
Just come along, baby, take my hand. I'll be your lover tonight.
How's that?
Oh, that's much better.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh man, it's a duet.
who Nag reminds me of?
Who?
He just needs a little goatee right here, more pronounced than what he has. And he would remind me of B from
Careful.
Vendetta.
Who?
V for Vendetta.
Oh, yeah. Nah, he doesn't look like Jaren.
I usually get told that I'm a King Charles.
Yeah,
King
I
Charles.
see that.
I can
French
see
king.
it.
Yeah.
That mofo got his head cut off, so that
Yeah.
says a lot about me. But yeah,
Well, just remember,
Apparently-
doppelgangers. Yeah, doppelgangers don't normally share fates, so you're okay, man.
well, I don't know. Look at all of Kim Jong Un's body doubles. I'm sure they're doing well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out Arthur Moorhead's question. Where is the link? I don't see it. Oh, for Zoom. Right? For Zoom?
Down below.
Oh, yeah, it's down in the description box there, Arthur.
Frank Zappa.
Right after number 3.
Absolutely crazy
Kind
stuff.
of does
Frank
look
Zappa.
like Zappa a little too.
I've been told Jelly Duck looks like Zappa. That is picture.
He does look like Zappa. Yep.
It looks like Phil Lynott or Zappa. It was only when he said that. Yeah, I was like, dude from Thin Lizzy or Frank Zappa. That picture, just like it. Yeah.
Arthur didn't know if he made it live. Oh, I was just looking at Arthur's comments there. I need to go back. We need to find some of these names for marijuana. Do you guys hear any?
Mota, Mary Jane.
Yep.
Ganja.
Ganja. Mm-hmm.
Do you know where the term marijuana came from?
Oh, there we go. Grass, pot, smoke. I've never heard
The
Mota.
devil's lettuce.
Weeds.
Mota?
Somebody said, yeah, I've never heard that one.
No, that's Mexican.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mota.
Mexican.
That would be why. Dank?
I call it. Yes.
You call it what?
Dank.
What did you say you cut out?
We are not 15.
Wacky
In
tobacco.
In Sweden, we used to call it Maya.
Maya.
Maya, I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who coined the name marijuana?
Who?
Jesus.
No, he didn't name any plants. He just said they're
Wasn't
plants.
that the government?
He said they're here.
Prove it.
That, no, actually it was
One at a time, one at a time.
William Randolph Hearst.
Oh, you've said that before.
The first person to coin that word marijuana. Do you know that marijuana laws are specifically laws are actually racist laws?
No, huh?
The laws back in the 30s. And I don't know if anyone, I'm sure no one here has watched any of this so-called impeachment trial going on. Back in the 30s, when they started making these laws, that congressional hearing went exactly the way these hearings are going. It was all one-sided. They wouldn't allow the doctors to talk. They wouldn't accept any of their medical reasons for keeping it legal. They wouldn't accept none of it.
Sounds like they already had their minds made up.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They did. It didn't matter what the doctors said, what the scientists said. Lawmakers said they were it's against the law. And why? Again, as I said earlier, the laws are racist. Were racist in origin. Heroin was made illegal to hold the black people down. Marijuana was made illegal to hold the Mexicans down. Opium was made illegal to hold the Chinese down. We gotta remember, these are the days of the Jim Crow laws and stuff. And they said that when a black person smokes marijuana, they become violent. Back during those days, a black person looking at a white man in the eyes was being violent.
Oh, for the love of Christ.
Right.
Are we all smoking on panel?
It looks like everyone's smoking on apparently.
But I have to go out.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Fix a Pia, tell me what's wrong.
Are you okay, Pia?
Yeah, I'm fine.
She's outside smoking.
Love you, Pia.
Love you too.
So that was the reason. That was the reason for the laws. And William Randolph Hearst, in his yellow magazine, the San Francisco Chronicle, coined the phrase marijuana when they were talking about the Mexicans smoking that happy weed, marijuana.
Happy weed.
Yep. Yeah. So our drug laws are basically racist laws.
Interesting.
Incredible.
It is. We got a question.
Racist.
We got a question from American Gold Prospector. It says, how does being high affect your ability to drive, and do you drive while high? Now you don't.
Can I give this one?
Oh, you most certainly can, but I want to preface that with you don't have to say whether or not you drive while you're high. No one has to say that.
Well, put it this way, Brian. I would rather ride in a car with someone high than someone who's been drinking. I'd rather be on the job with someone who's burnt one on the way in than someone suffering a hangover.
Yep.
I second that.
Yeah.
So legally, according to
DUI.
yeah, I'm always driving high.
What are you doing, gamer?
I'm just waiting for my precious 2 seconds to have my sentence. That's all I'm waiting for is my precious seconds.
He
to
did.
have my valuable input.
He did say he wanted to touch on this one, so go ahead, gamer.
No, it's okay. It's
No,
okay.
floor's yours, man.
Fuck you, all you single plastic users. Carry on. Carry on.
I am so glad we waited for that.
Floor's all yours, Nag.
Anyone else want to? You can still do it, gamer. You can still do it.
I'm not high enough for this.
I smoke myself. It's like a known fact.
Yep.
You stick to the speed limits. You won't go 1 mile an hour over, but you'll do it in second gear, which is always the thing when you're driving down the road, doing the speed limit in second gear. I don't personally drive high, but I know many people whom do.
Well, what I was saying was according to what they say is if you have THC in your system, you're high. So that means that anyone that's ever smoked within a month's period is high.
Damn it.
So you can't drive for a month after you smoke a joint, according to the law. But
I think the crux of the question was how do we believe it affects people who do drive high? And I think the answer would be that, yes, it does affect reaction time. There's no question about that. Which is why gamers
It does.
makes it better.
Than others.
Some worse than others, but that.
Okay. Here's an answer. It all depends on how it affects you. Everyone is, and that's another reason they don't want to legalize it too, because they can't control it. There is no controlled dose of THC for anyone. Everyone reacts to it different.
Yeah.
Everyone reacts to alcohol different.
Right.
Well,
You sound crazy. It makes me an amazing shot when I've had. If I go to the shooting range and I have a smoke, it completely calms my heart rate out. I know it raises it, but I don't have to concentrate for the pulse. I don't have to focus on the trigger squeeze. It makes things 10 times easier. But I've heard of other people that does it with the same as diazepam. I'm not recommending that people, by the way, go out and start shooting their rifles while having joint. I was just saying an effect it has on me.
Yeah, remember, don't try this at home.
Where's the
It makes me much more
disclosure?
conscientious of my surroundings and everything around me as well. But I feel more relaxed at the same time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Video Call-in show is
I can
not
see that.
responsible for the viewpoints of any of their guests.
I need a
or
big ass
anyone
disclaimer.
on the panel.
I need a
Do I
huge
think-
disclaimer.
Do I think kids should smoke pot? No.
Have you seen these guys, what they're called, the Try Guys? It's 4 guys that makes videos. They made a video that they did a test. They drove drunk, they drove high, and they drove without sleep, all 4 of them. And all 4 had the same results. The worst results were when they were sleep deprived.
Mm.
Second were drunk.
Definitely.
And the least mistakes were when they were high.
Interesting.
Well, when you're high, you have a tendency to concentrate more on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have a tendency, you actually are a little, as scatterbrained as people think you are, you're actually a little more concentrating on what the task is. You may be slower at it, but you're concentrating on it.
Yes.
That's why I said about when I was shooting, your senses are somehow slightly raised in other ways. It's really,
Right.
I think that's why some people have panic attacks, because it's overwhelming. It's
Yes.
really,
Yes.
I mean, I'm English. I'm not going to encourage anyone to go out and smoke a joint. But yeah, it's odd. I can see why some people don't react well to it
Mm-hmm.
if they've got those issues with them already. But you're absolutely right, Jess. It does heighten senses in some weird way.
Right.
The only weird thing is like you can get so high. Like I have been shooting and I've laid on the grass, and instead of shooting a rifle, I've fallen asleep. So if you get that high that you fall asleep in the chair of your car when you're driving, which can happen, then
I guess
I
it
don't
depends
recommend.
on.
I was just trying to dig us out of a hole, not just saying like.
No,
be
well,
responsible with it.
right. And actually, it depends on the type of
The
marijuana you're
strain.
smoking. The strain,
If it's
exactly.
a sativa or an indica,
Indica all the way.
Well, you
Sometimes I
know-
get high and come on here, and I just eat food and laugh. Now you know
mean
my
like now?
secret.
Now I'm going to have to think about that every time you're watching my show, Gianna.
You gotta watch me when I'm on panel, and I just sit here and I'm like.
You never have to think about that with me, Jim. Just know it's
or
true.
me. I am just, like I said, I gave it up, and and I can't tell you because, I'm in the music scene.
Sponsored.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been offered medical marijuana, which, they're not using it for medical purposes because of my back. Almost every week. And I have no desire. Zero desire.
Get some and give it to your old friend Gamer when he comes over.
But there,
I've been thinking
there
about
is-
getting my medical card.
Really?
There is an important medical effect because where my sister goes to therapy, there is a girl. She's pretty young, and she has what's called the stiff man's disease. She can't walk. She can't eat because she can't swallow.
Hmm.
She just sits in a wheelchair. When she smokes pot, she can walk. She can talk. She can eat. It's a totally new person.
That's awesome.
Can I tell you, actually, that's another story. Can I interject again, story?
Yes, please do.
Don't apologize.
My grandfather has Parkinson's, and Pitch just said, my granddad, I can't, sorry Nan, sorry mother up there, but my auntie don't know about this. But he was a bit of a cabbage. But when I went up there and I secretly gave him some weed when my nan was out, something of my weed, and he was like, "What's this?" Went from that to that. He could pick up his beer, he could drink his beer, he was lucid, he wasn't talking absolute shit anymore. He brought him down on a level. I honestly think there is as Pixel just said, genuine medical prescriptions for marijuana, and I think that it does have to be put out more, because if I wished I could have, I didn't film my granddad because I was scared that the political correctness, my granddad would get arrested for smoking weed in an illegal country. But I wish people could have seen the difference it made to that man. It like reduced him by like 20 years, if that makes sense. As in brought him back. He shakes. I've never seen anything like it. So that there is definitely a purpose for weed in this world.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. And one of these days, who knows? It may be my only relief from the back pain that I suffer from. I just don't know yet. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I have a story similar to that. My mother-in-law was fighting through cancer, and her biggest problem was that she was actually dying of malnutrition because she wasn't hungry. She wasn't eating. So one day I told her, I said, listen, you're already dying. Smoke this joint with me. You know, I mean, she already knew, right? She says, what's it going to do to me? I said, nothing. It's just going to make you feel a little better. You know, after she smoked that joint, she got hungry. She started eating. So, unfortunately, you know, she's still passed away. But in the meantime, she was able to eat and actually feel a little better. You know.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pardon me, folks. I want to take a quick chat break here.
Sure.
I've seen some folks jump in that I haven't been able to say hello to. Hello, Keely M. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Looks like a big fan of Gamer and
who's a big fan of me?
I'm a big fan.
Keely M.
Sorry to know who you are.
Well, they're joining us via Facebook. Grumpy Vlogger, how you doing, Lloyd? Good to see you. Who else did I see? Susan Hamilton says she's always high when she watches.
Yes,
Way to go, Susan. Way to go. Viewed this. How you doing, Tony? Tony says, I heard smoking pot makes you eat a lot of microwavable burritos. Any truth to that?
No comment.
I still to this day have not had a burrito in my life.
Oh, man, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh my gosh.
Or enchiladas.
I'm sorry. Have you ever had fish and chips, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
I'm fudging heaven.
We have an Arthur Treacher's down the street.
What? Still?
That is.
Man, I used to love Arthur Treacher's.
It's a fish and chips place.
Yeah, it was kind of a fast food fish and chips. It wasn't the real McCoy Gamer,
No,
but
right, no, it was like Taco Bell is, you know, to Mexican food. Arthur Treacher's is to English food.
I also want to say hello to Luke Duke, because he also says, and Doritos. Max Air 420. Oh, look at that. What's that, Gamer?
I said an English restaurant that isn't in the UK. I've never heard of Mr. Treacher.
Oh, Arthur Treacher's, it's been gone for decades now. Probably, what, 3 or 4, Jesse? At least?
Yeah, we used to have like 4 or 5 in the city. We got 1.
Yeah.
And it's, you know.
Oh, we've got 0 over here. 0.
It's there's hardly ever any cars in the driveway. So.
Can you get yourselves a contemporary curry over there?
Never looked for it. I can't. You guys? Anyone?
Nope.
Don't
Curry.
Don't
I like
it.
curry.
Don't like curry.
I do like curry, but I don't know what the contemporary curry would qualify as.
You've got like a traditional Indian curry, which is meat in a kind of a watery sauce. It's not
the paste.
And then you've got like what I call a contemporary curry or an English curry, which is all fancy flavors and colors. And like, for example, you'll get a chicken korma, which will just be really creamy and coconutty.
Then
really
yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. Then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can get them over here. Yeah. I don't know if it's the same stuff or as good, but we can certainly do that. Real fast, Newfound Drone Productions, how you doing? And where's PMD? Yeah, PMD3, how you doing? Interesting topic tonight. Yes, it very, very much so is, isn't it? Blended Whiskey, how are you doing? And no one on this show is high as far as we know. Still Winter Nation, how you doing? Yeah, we're just on the edge over here. Just on the edge.
High on
Two
life.
more people.
High on life.
Think we can handle 2 more people, guys?
No, I don't know. Can you?
Oh, I can.
I can talk.
I've handled more than that.
You haven't broke the 100 yet. So.
Oh yeah, but I'm not going for that anymore, Ed. No,
Oh,
no.
man.
I know. Well, it wasn't a give up. It was kind of. It became, I don't know, too hard to wrangle.
Pointless.
Yeah. Pointless is a good way to put it.
I can understand.
Trying to laugh for everybody else.
Oh my God!
Hi, Arthur.
Everybody see me?
Is my mic working?
It
my
is.
mic working?
Caitlin, we can hear you. How you doing?
Good. I just wanted to come in because this topic was pretty interesting to me. I thought I'd chime in.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. I do want to say hello to you and Gary Foster. Gary, how you doing? Can we hear you?
Gary from Brand Aerials.
Oh, Brand Aerials. Of course. I thought I recognized you. How you doing, man?
Great.
Good to see you.
I was going to chime in. I'm just going to be here briefly.
Okay.
With the Canadian perspective, we're legal here,
Right.
and it's really changed the way we operate
So you guys are, it's legal recreationally, of course?
across Canada.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh, from coast to coast. Huh?
yeah.
Yep, coast to coast. Now, one day I was sitting in the house and the horn was beeping out in the driveway, and it was the mail lady. And I went out and she said, "Oh yeah, I got a package for you here." I said, "Oh, thank you." She goes, "No, you have to sign for it." I said, "I have to sign for it?" She goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." Signed my name. She said, "It's from the Ontario Cannabis Store." I said, "What?" My daughter had ordered a weed from the store.
Oh, man, I was hoping they were sending out free samples or something. I can call them up.
So, I mean, it's as common as can be. Now, we go to professional football games here. We go to see the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and you go outside. There's a smoking area outside. You have to check out and go to the smoking area. The smoking area is packed now, and nobody's smoking tobacco.
Well, that's good. Tobacco's bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the way it's gone here.
That's
You
awesome.
go downtown, you smell weed on the street. There's, it's nobody thinks a thing about it.
I'll be damned.
So
damned.
anyway,
Anywhere you can smoke cigarettes, you can smoke tobacco, or you can smoke marijuana.
well, back in the 60s and 70s here, you could smell weed everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everywhere you went, concert, everywhere you went.
Listen, Gary, I got a question for you, man.
Sure.
How long has it been legalized in Canada for recreational use?
October 2018.
Oh, okay. So just a little over a year then. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It was
maybe,
supposed to be legal in July, but they had some delays and stuff, and actually, in the province that I live, you can only buy it legally now from the Ontario Cannabis Store, which is a government-run thing, sort of like our liquor stores are all run by the province. And apparently, they lost $1 billion the first year selling weed.
How do you lose money?
the only way you lose money selling weed is smoking your own product.
Yeah, that's back in the old days, Jesse.
Don't get high on your own supply.
You're allowed to grow 5 plants at home.
Oh, you are?
That's why they lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people were growing their own.
Yeah, probably.
And part of the problem too is they were running out of weed. You'd order something and they'd say, "Well, we haven't got that,"
Well, didn't that happen in Colorado too when they first legalized? They ran out of weed the first day. Yeah.
Well, is there states in America where you can open carry and just walk about with a massive joint hanging out of your mouth?
I don't know if you can walk around with a joint in your mouth, but
In Washington and Oregon, it's not supposed to be done in public.
Right. It's like our beer laws or drinking laws. You can't do it in public.
Right.
How American would that be, riding a horse with your revolver on a mountain with a massive joint hanging out of your mouth? I would be
you
the
could do
happiest
that.
man on earth.
I have pictures of Pancho Villa. No.
I love that you threw a mountain in there.
You gotta have a mountain
I mean, I was with you with the horse and everything, but man, you lost me on the mountain thing. Because see, that could happen.
Whenever I think of America, I think of like me in a cowboy hat with like one of them cowboy shirts on, and wherever you are, there's always a freaking mountain in the background. Whatever scenery, I'm always in the prairie, and there's always a mountain. Like that, exactly.
Ooh.
And there's usually like exactly like what Flash has put, and there's usually like one or two random wooden crosses from where there was Western graves 200 years ago. It's just how my imagination works. But now I'm imagining it with a massive joint hanging out of my mouth. Thanks, guys. I love it.
No more spaghetti westerns for Gamer. That's it. No more spaghetti westerns.
Blazing saddles is my dream.
On Toledo Jess's note, I'd like to also say that about 3 miles that way, behind me,
look at Ed.
We have industrial hemp grown. And
oh
there's
yeah.
big signs on the fence post. Industrial hemp, no THC. So we're going like crazy. Farmers have a hell of a time. It's so hard to harvest.
Well, you know
Really?
that
That's good.
what was it? Mechanics Illustrated. Back in the 30s, coined actually used the word billion-dollar crop when they talked about marijuana for the farmers. That was the first time that word was ever used in a magazine.
In print?
$1 billion, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion crop is what they call it.
Mm.
But they still outlawed it.
I had a neighbor here farming it, and he got out of it because he couldn't keep knives in the combine. It just dulled knives like there was no tomorrow. He just couldn't make any money at it.
It's tough stuff.
It's very tough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They make rope out of it. Hemp rope.
Oh yeah.
I guess you have to get Mexicans to cut it with a scythe or something.
Mm.
If you've ever actually cultivated a marijuana plant, you see how resilient you are. They are. You can literally snap them in half, and they'll heal and grow, carry on growing. They're very, very.
You can clone them. You can clone them.
Oh yeah.
They're easy to clone.
They did that to start.
Okay.
Just got here. Are you talking about midgets?
No.
Yeah,
Cloning midgets?
we are.
I just walked in. I'm sorry. All I heard was the reason to clone. I didn't know it was
Well,
gonna work.
Homemade
I don't know. Do you
midget.
clone midgets, Tony?
Oh, I'd like to.
Before we get too deep into that,
Especially when they're in porn.
Arthur, we haven't heard from you yet on this topic. You've been very quiet.
I was just wondering if my microphone was working.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm confused because I'm showing 2 screens of myself.
2 screens of yourself. You should see the whole panel on one of them. If you click the little icon up top, speaker view.
Right.
Yeah, click on that, and it should change your view. Is that your best Oompa Loompa, Tony?
What are you doing?
I'm sorry?
Is that your best Oompa Loompa?
I don't know what this is. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I got a bigger screen shot, but I also still have the screenshot, a smaller shot of myself.
That's odd. That's odd.
Yeah, it's really weird. Did you just get hit like a kick in the balls like I did when we realized Gannon was here?
Guys, what did I do?
No, it's talking to Arthur.
Guys, I'm gonna.
Is he had a shave? Look at him. He looks like an egg.
Bye, Pia.
Pia, you got to go,
Gonna
hon.
leave.
Wow.
Well, thanks for being here, hon. I appreciate it.
See ya.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Pia.
Bye, Pia.
Baba Dildig. Which means sausage for you in Swedish.
Heads on hair.
Here's my name. Speak to Pia.
So, Gary, one more question for you. You know how they've got breathalyzers for alcohol. Did they institute anything like that for like operating under the influence when they legalized it?
Well, I've never driven under the influence, so I've never been stopped for it.
Well, I mean,
Good answer.
are there laws though? I guess is what my main question is. Are there laws that okay,
Yeah.
okay,
You can't drive high. And there's all kinds of signs on the highway and everything else, you know. Driving high is impaired driving.
There's
It is
literally
here too.
there's literally a double bill. I'm in Massachusetts, so it's legal here too. There's literally a double billboard right down the road from my house, and for about 6 months, and I'll try to remember to get a picture of it. I'll put it on Twitter. There's the "Don't Drive High" sign on one of them, and then weedmaps.org is on the other one, which is where you can go. You go to Weed Maps, and it tells you who sells it in your area, near closest to your house, and you can order online and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, we're online only, and the package that my daughter bought had the weed, the bong, and the shredder. So she bought the whole kit, right?
wow.
that's like getting a combo meal at a fast food joint. That's awesome. Yeah.
So Gary, was that something she did, or was that a surprise to you?
Well, you know, she's in university, and you know, she drinks. I know that, you know, and she got this weed. As soon as I was there when she opened the box, we crushed some up, put it in the bong, took it out on the front porch, and my wife and I and my daughter all toked on it a little bit. And from there, it went up into the liquor cabinet. It's been there for 3 months ever since. Nobody's touched it.
Break that some bitch out, Gary. What's going on, bro? What are you doing? Just walk in the kitchen if your wife's standing there, be like, "Hey, look, squirrel." When she looks, you grab it and run, man. That's what I do.
No, it's normal. You know, it's just normal.
Not
Phil
surprising.
Harvey.
Hello, Phil.
Hello. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
We are doing just fine.
Gentlemen in Ghana.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ah, the cup.
It's a
That
one
is
time coming out
wonderful.
all fucking nice, and I'll get used to it.
Nice cup.
The wonderful
Oh,
cup.
okay, Tony.
So I wanna respond to something that Ghana said earlier.
It's Ghana.
What did I say?
You said that you were thinking about getting a medical marijuana license.
Yes.
No, don't.
No, I'm not going to. There's I was thinking about it, but I can't.
It's not a good idea.
Thought about that.
Because they're trying to pass a law where if you have a medical marijuana card, then they can.
It's gonna cut you off on a lot of things.
Yeah, you can't. You can't own a gun anymore.
Can't own a gun.
You gotta get off welfare.
And who wants to live in Arizona without heat?
Right.
Right.
May I interrupt just a bit? So what does that mean exactly when you own that and you can't own a gun? Like, what does that exactly mean?
It means you can't register a gun in your name.
They can track you because you have your medical card.
Well, it'll probably be more that you can't own a weapon, not necessarily register it, because you don't. And of course, Phil, you probably know this. In the States, we don't have to register our weapons.
No, we do not. Actually, it's pretty easy because actually it's more common to own any sorts of like weapon arms to just bypass it. Well, you still have to like sign. I don't know. I never really owned a weapon in my life, honestly. But then again, you can.
Well, that leaves me out from a medical card.
Oh yeah, I refuse.
They haven't done it yet, but they're trying to pass it federally so that.
They are.
Yep, they're trying.
That would be like actually removing your right to bear arms just for drinking.
I don't think it'll
That's
pass.
how I feel.
The idea behind it is if someone's got a medical marijuana card, there's a good chance that, because most people go to get a medical marijuana card, they say they have nervousness, or it's always a mental thing that they use unless they actually have a real problem. So since 90% of people say it's just I get nervous in public, or I just don't ever have an appetite, because
we'll find a reason for them not
so
to.
basically what they're saying is if you have to have marijuana, you have to sign up to be able to get high to escape from reality. You should know that.
Right.
That's actually pretty interesting because I just never heard that before in my life.
me tell you something right now.
Yeah,
you got a better chance. You got a better chance I'm gonna shoot your ass if I'm not high.
True. I don't know who said that, but I like
it's true for a couple reasons. First of all, I'm a lot more calm if I'm medicated, and so I'm I don't know. I'm not so apt to just say, hey, I want to put a hole in somebody. Not that I do. I mean, I've never shot anybody, so don't take that.
No, God.
But I wanted to. But I'm just saying. And the other thing too is that like if I was high and I pulled a gun on you, I could easily be coerced to put the gun down with, say, string cheese.
Or another joint.
You didn't tell me you had string cheese.
No. You back up right now. I got string
What is your name? What is your name, sir? I cannot say your name. I'm sorry. What is it?
My name?
You're a comical. Yeah, you're a comical genius.
My name is
All I
Tony.
can say is that you're.
That's Tony.
Well, thank you. Nobody calls me comical or genius. I love that. Thank you, man. You're a very nice man, Phil Harvey.
No problem. Even though coming from the person that had said, the bad word, I really don't want to say it in front of anyone.
Listen. I've been waiting to get on panel with you because there's something I want to tell you, and I just want you to take these words of advice. All right, and that is that procrastination is a lot like masturbation. In the end, Phil, you're only fucking yourself.
Oh my God, was that you?
Yeah.
That was you. That was the slogan thing. That was you. You're the view this guy.
What's that?
Your user was view this. I saw that.
Yeah.
I seen that actually. Oh my God! I thought you were being a dick or something to me. I'm sorry, not to sound like a
Me, Tony.
throw someone under the bus, but damn.
It's just me.
Yeah, he was being a dick, but he was also being funny. So
okay. I'm not offended. I just thought, okay, maybe I need someone to give me the rope patch therapy here, but heck, why not, But no trolls here. Well, that sort of could be one, but not when it comes down to it in the show, though. So.
Appreciate it, man.
Listen. If you want to come watch my videos in full, you're welcome to troll my comment section anytime, buddy.
Oh, as long as I don't get banned, I mean, hell.
I won't ban you. I got 2 channels. You gotta watch all my videos, man.
What's that?
I said I got 2 channels, though. You gotta watch all the videos and comment on all of them, all right? Share them out on all your social medias.
Oh my gosh.
Then I won't ban you.
By the way, Jim.
Yes.
Okay, Jim. I do want to thank you for plugging in my channel, by the way. I do want to thank you.
No problem, dude. Feel free to.
I got 2 subscribers so far, so.
From that?
That actually helps. I think so. I honestly went from 129 to 131.
Well, you're more than welcome to link those in a playlist on your channel if you want to. You're totally welcome.
Yeah, I'll definitely plug you on.
Cool.
You talking about the guest cut?
Yeah.
I watched that live, and then I watched the whole thing again when the guest cut came up. And when it was all over, I was like, did I seriously just watch that entire fucking segment again? Because it was like less than a week, right? Or a week or so.
Yeah.
It just happened.
I like how he entitled me as kinder, more gentler. So it's like when I think about it, it's like, I like how he says I'm kinder but gentler. What am I going to do to you, Jim? Break you?
I don't know. It just seemed. It just seemed to fit, man. It just seemed to fit.
No, you're good. It's just funny because I was just like, honestly, it's like you're carrying a glass vase. It's like you don't want to break it, or else your parents are going to yell at you. Even though sadly enough, I live with my parents.
Totally.
No, I just appreciate you coming on, and I thought our conversation was good that second time. Actually, it was pretty good the first time until the end of it. But no, the second conversation was great, man.
Honestly, I was afraid like you were gonna like yell and be all like, God, this freaking Joker.
No. I tend not to give that sort of thing too much attention because that's what it craves, right?
Right. So just to get back on the topic at hand.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take on that.
Honestly, Jim, I honestly want to talk to you about this since you and I are fellow Hoosiers, or
sure.
Whoever's in this call.
Excelsior!
Anyway, so I think honestly, when they try legalizing it, it's like, do we see like the economy booming from all this happening? Because if Colorado recreationally legalized it, it was like they made millions within the first few weeks. I think it was, or I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But so for Indiana, well, we're kind of well known for. Jim, I'm going to say this, just kind of throw it out there, but we're well known for methamphetamine.
Yeah, that's true.
What would happen if we got legalized in Indiana? Then it would have been overpassing.
Well, I think we would follow with Colorado, if not perhaps greater, since we've got so much land that's very fertile and just ripe for this sort of crop.
Yeah. Honestly, I had this big imagination. So just get this. So I get this imagination. What would happen if I was a billionaire? Honestly, I want to this. This was silly. So I just want to create an underground weed operation, from Pineapple Express. That was just the imagination, but it wasn't even going to happen, even if I was. But still.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
No. Have you guys ever seen Pineapple Express? Like, have you ever seen the movie?
I have not. Donna has.
Wait. Okay. So, Donna, do you know what I'm talking about? You know that scene where they went underground and there was nothing more than pots full of nothing but marijuana?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was exactly the interpretation I had in mind. I'm saying that's similar, but see, at least in some aspects, Donna would get it, sort of, but yeah, just kind of just throwing it out there, but
just, probably high.
Interesting.
Indiana just needs the legal. Just enough said, honestly.
Yeah, I think federally it should be legalized myself.
Oh God, you have no idea, dude. If they could
look at that beautiful mug.
Sexuality federally, then they can at least get this underway. I mean, seriously.
And if you guys will all notice, Ghana is displaying the latest Video Call-In Show mug with her artwork on it. Available at Teespring. Link in the description box.
Oh God, Jim, you're displaying the marketing in front of me.
Shameless plug, man. Shameless plug. Where are all your mugs at?
Cups up top.
Oh yeah.
If I knew what city you lived in, Jim, I would have just bought it right off your hand there. Hell, just drive up the wrong way.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Ed.
Yeah.
All right, Ed.
And thank you for the art again, gal. Love it.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. Took a little artistic freedom there, didn't you?
Nag.
Flash.
Yo, Ed. Enjoy the burritos, brother.
Hey, Ed, thanks.
You even knew.
Thanks for coming up, bud, and giving your opinion on that. Yeah, it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, man, take it, man.
Have a good night, everybody.
You too, bud.
Good night.
God bless you.
Yes,
Think
God
of vegetables, recycle your plastics.
Oh man.
Can you imagine if it was legalized across the whole country, with federal and legalized and taxed, that we could actually get rid of our deficit?
Yeah, that's what they say, and I tend to agree with that. I hope
not now because it's so high, but in the past there was a point where we could have, dropped the deficit down to zero and maybe even had a surplus afterwards.
Yeah.
We lost $1 billion in a year, so.
I think that Gary, that was probably poor planning, would be my guess, right? It's like, all right, let's make it illegal. Whoops, we don't have enough to supply the demand.
They're supposed to be opening retail stores, and they haven't done that yet.
Oh
my God!
There's a lottery for dealers to open them. Once you win the lottery, then you have to prove that you can build the place, and that can't be near a school, and
Sure, all that.
Right. Until the farmers are allowed to grow massive fields for high quality, high THC quality marijuana, you're always going to have that problem. Well, so farmers are allowed to grow a really simple crop because it is a weed after all. It doesn't take a whole lot to grow it. There's a little water and sunlight, and it'll grow.
Well, in this country, you can't grow it outdoors.
See, there's where the problem is.
And you have to have Health Canada approval before they'll allow you to sell it.
Interesting.
That's why they say. That's why I said they have to let the farmers with acres and acres of fields to grow.
Well, the ones that have acres and acres of fields are growing industrial hemp, which is what you thought we should have anyway. Right?
Well, yeah, we should have that too.
Well, we got tons of industrial hemp, no THC. Why can't you grow hemp without THC?
Because of how you're growing it and what you're growing it for. You can grow without THC. In fact, if you grow it,
what's the problem?
Yeah, CBT.
How about it, man?
Oh, that's awesome. That was quick. Dude.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny though?
What?
It's funny. Our governor for Indiana is like the worst freaking guy on earth. Like, I get his proposition. He lowered. We have some. How can I say this? We have similarity of weed, sort of, but it's called CBT, obviously. But they passed that law, and there was a CBT in our town, and this was the second CBT that was open up north here. And I was checking out to see like what they have, and all they have is like skincare and all this other shit, yada yada. And then this guy shows me this bag that looks nothing like weed. It looks like freaking grass, like actually like spices that you use for your like food and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like
oregano.
coriander?
Oregano.
Yeah, something like
parsley, thyme,
oregano,
sage, and
thyme.
thyme.
Yeah.
The guy shows you the bag. You're like, that's not like any bag I've ever seen, and I know bags.
Yeah, exactly.
I beat mine on the toilet seat on a nightly basis. What's that?
Oh my God.
What?
Why?
What'd you say?
Yes. Hit your hand with a hammer first, and it feels like someone else is doing it.
Oh.
Phil.
You don't have to hit it with a hammer. You just lay on it. It's fine.
Phil. Finish your story, Phil.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Phil. I thought you were done.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's just
Hey, gamer.
so back to what I was saying. And he said to me that this stuff will fail a piss test or something. And I'm like, dude, none of your products would dude, I could pass a piss test flying colors. This shit ain't nothing. Because it's like literally I forgot our governor's name, and I highly don't even give a shit about him either. But anyway, he signed a proposition saying it's going to be 0.5% of THC. That's all he posts. I think. Yeah, it's
0.5.
That sounds like the politicians' take on vaping equipment. They just don't know anything about it, so they've taken some sort of arbitrary number or been fed poor information and are going to make legislation based on that. God, I hate when that happens.
Oh God! And take it from one guy from earlier saying something about you can't do it near school. Okay, so let me ask this: so why in the hell are adult stores going near schools?
Yeah,
I've heard this before.
Well, the adult stores aren't supposed to be within 500 feet of a school. And if you see them, usually they were there before the school was put into place, so they get the grandfather rule. I used to work at a bar that literally I got a bad shoulder, by the way. I could literally throw a snowball if it snowed there, because it was in Florida and it doesn't. But I could have thrown a snowball and hit the front door of the school. It was right across the street. But what happened was that school used to be in Aldi, and they knocked it down and built a school there. And the bar that I worked at was a full liquor bar and had been there for 15 or 20 years. So when they built the school, there was it was right across the street. It was awesome. When they had like parent-teacher night, we'd be slammed. It was so cool. And then all the parents.
It's like you're tired of your kids. It's like you want to drink your life away.
And then all the parents would leave because they still have to go to work tomorrow. And they still have to get the kids up in the morning. And then all the fucking teachers would come in, and we get the teachers wrecked. We used to get the teachers wrecked out. There was a lot of teachers. There was a lot of teachers that drank in my bar on a daily basis.
Oh man.
They were my regulars. Oh yeah.
What's the highest liquor you ever gave to a teacher, just out of the blue? Like, what's the biggest liquor? Like, strongest flavor.
Well, I used to make a shot called. See you, Jim. I used to make a shot called the Mongolian motherfucker, and a Mongolian motherfucker has 10 liquors and 4 mixers in it, and the final liquor that you put in is 151 proof rum, and that was always a half shot of that. So I used to. It was a 14-shot drink. It was called the Mongolian motherfucker. I was known for it. People would bring people in from Tampa. They would come down to Sarasota to come to my bar on people's birthdays just so they could give them the Mongolian. And the teachers loved the Mongolians, man. They'd order them round after round after round. I'd make big ones, doubles, and they'd whack them down. And they got a lot of stress to deal with, you know? I used to have a lot of lawyers out in my bar.
Oh my God, that's just like the episode of Simpsons, the Flaming Moe. You ever heard that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh God, just okay. Hearing his story sounds exactly from that episode.
I don't watch The Simpsons, but I can imagine, you know. I like to imagine things anyways. I have
Slice
an
of life.
imagination. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm scared of Tony.
Is anyone else doing Vlogmas, or is it just me? I mean, I'm fucking failing miserably, but is anybody else doing it?
Doing what?
Listen, Vlogmas, man.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you see I put the video up for you, Jim?
I did not see that yet, Tony. No.
Listen, nobody saw it. It's got like 3 views. Trust me, nobody's seen it.
Well, I didn't want to hear that.
Oh, it's true. But
I wanted to hear it was the most popular Vlogmas edition ever.
I just want to keep putting stuff up, and I really want to see just like naturally let it roll and have fun. You know what I mean? So like it's cool. But I did day 1 and 2, day 2 and day 3 and 4, day 5 and 6, and I was like, oh, cool. So yesterday I did footage and everything. I was like, I got day 7 in the bag, and I didn't do a damn thing with it. And then I barely got anything done today, so I have no choice but to do 7 or 8 in the same video.
Yeah.
But I have no idea why I'm doing this, but it's fun. I want to start doing reaction videos, but I got to figure out how to be able to put myself on the screen with what I want to react to.
Lithium.
Yeah, there you go.
If anyone got that joke, it was quite funny. Really not.
Gary, did you?
I usually. Oh.
Gary, did you say something a minute ago?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I saw you. I thought you were trying to say something.
A few minutes ago, I said I was leaving. I gotta
That's.
get going.
I knew you said you had to get going, so I wanted to give you a break in there, bud. So.
Thanks for having me on. Have a great night. Don't drive high.
Don't drive high.
Oh God, worst decision ever.
You should come to Canada.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Gary, thanks so much for being here, man. That was some great information from a country that has actually legalized it. Seriously.
Always a
The way you said that word.
What word?
You said country, but you stopped after the T for about half a second, and I literally just thought you told him. I was like, "Whoa, Jim!"
No. I wasn't going. Had to be a Freudian slip of some sort. But thanks again, Gary. I appreciate it, man. You too, Gary.
Bye, Gary.
I didn't even catch that.
It's like a battle royale. People are just leaving right and left. This is like some WWE stuff happening over here.
Well, it rotates occasionally. If you've seen these before. How you doing, Turkey Leg TV? Welcome to the show.
I have.
And Benzo Bonanza Mining and Prospecting. How you doing, man?
Benzo,
good to see you.
How you doing?
Good to see you. Just taking a chat break here. Keely had to go. Oh, Patty had to go.
Did you say hi to Jared?
Jared or Jared?
Jared.
Yeah, I said. Oh yeah, he was here early. Yeah, absolutely.
He wants to know if Tony gained 20 pounds since Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's real fucking funny.
Tony's got the Britney Spears going on. Just shaved it all off.
Oh man,
Weird.
Clean.
Yeah, when I shave, you can just see how fat my fucking face really is. That's all. Don't worry, Mr. Lodak. I'll grow it back out for you, but I'll lose 20 pounds by next week. For a good tea bag.
So hello, Jelly Duck. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I just got
man, what's going on, man? You got the
Jelly.
fucking. You look great, man. You got the haircut. You got the best caterpillar mustache in Kuwait, man. I love it. That's awesome.
I was going to say, you look very magnificent, sir.
That is our resident Frank Zappa.
Oh God.
Good night, Lloyd.
Lloyd's got to go too. Oh no, he's saying good night to Brant Ariels.
Oh, I got confused because Brant's saying good night back. I'm so confused. What's that?
Hey,
you got it.
Go ahead. You want to tell me what a fat ass I am too, Ahmed? Go ahead. Jesus.
You are a savage.
Come on,
you
be
are a
fucking
savage.
abused. If I want to be abused, I'll just go hang out in a private chat with Gamer. All right.
Jesus Christ.
He's like, I'm right here.
Horrible.
Gamer,
It's just messed up.
listen, I just want to say, I fucking love you, man, and I miss you, brother. I just want you to know that.
Put your tongue away, you prick.
You're awesome, man. I miss you. You and I haven't got to hang out in a long time.
I'd hang out in your bathroom.
I didn't even know I saw such a game. I just got a face reveal.
Yes. Yes, this is the second time he's been on the show.
Yeah.
In full splendor.
Yes, he gave up the ghost.
I know what you're thinking, Ahmed. You're thinking, oh, he's beautiful. And I am.
Oh, God.
You are beautiful.
Beautiful man. I just told him I love him. He's a beautiful man.
I have to ask Gamer and the other gentleman beside me. So so this is going to be a weird question. What countries are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Like what country? Oh my God. Yeah.
Wait a second.
So classified, but thank you for telling me that.
And you said the gentleman on the side of you.
My mother was Japanese, and my father was born in Antarctica. Sorry, I hope that answers your questions. Moving on.
I mean,
wait, so your father
Gamer,
is actually from Antarctica, and your mother is Japanese.
Ahmed, he was talking, you rude bastard.
Like which one?
Your turn, Ahmed. Tell him where you're from.
Actually, I was born. I was born in 1993. I live in Kuwait, so that was the thing.
You were born where?
Where?
In Kuwait.
Straight cloud.
Oh, you were born in Kuwait. Okay, I thought you said you were born somewhere else.
Got my microphone, dumbass.
Jesus. So Tony wasn't making the
Ahmed dropping it.
Not making that up that time when he said you got the best haircut in Kuwait.
Yeah, he's really
that's microphone. That's actually a microphone. As you can see.
See, Phil, you're just as piss poor as I am. You're an American, so the only reason why you even know that Kuwait exists is because they have oil. That's the only reason why I know they exist.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
Honestly,
it's such a shitty American thing now. But when you think about it, when you go to school, they don't teach you about Kuwait. You know, it's probably a nice little country. They don't teach you about nothing. How do you learn about Kuwait? By watching the news and they go, hey, man, Kuwait's got fucking oil.
Dude, I honestly...
Kuwait is actually a small country.
So is guitar, and you know how many times I hear that? That wasn't from school. You want to talk about me being a piss poor American? I would hear multiple countries I never heard of.
Phil, I didn't mean to disrespect by saying that. I was saying we're on the same level though. The only reason why we know that is because as Americans we find out through news. You know what I mean? That's how we find out about half this.
Oh no, Tony. That wasn't an offense. That was actually a compliment. Like I'll take that. That's all I care about. I would much rather.
Okay, chat break. Now Lloyd is taking off. We'll see you, Lloyd. Thanks for being here, brother. And Crap My Dad Make Me Watch has joined us. How you doing, Adam?
Hello, Adam.
Oh, and SJ's Mixed Adventures. Howdy. Well, good to see you.
Lloyd's sending me such mixed signals tonight. I don't even know.
Lloyd?
Yeah. I thought Pia went to bed like a half hour ago. She's still hanging out. I don't know what's going on, man.
Lloyd started out his time in the chat with "Don't bogart that joint, my friend."
Nice.
Pass it over.
Pass it over to me. Yeah, I thought that was quite appropriate.
I think somebody, you know,
oh God,
I caught the beginning of the show and I saw that you had mentioned Willie Nelson not smoking anymore.
Yes.
I also know that Willie Nelson played some music for the Democratic National Convention last year, which is very unusual for him as well because he's always been a pretty diehard, conservative. So I see these changes that Willie Nelson's making, and I'm thinking, I think he like went into like the doctor's office one day or something, and like somebody had left like the liberal playbook on the table, and he thought it was the Bible, and he started reading it, and he's like, I got to make all these changes in my life. So I want to go to heaven because I'm getting old. So I got to quit smoking the weed. I got to go play the music for these people. Like these people thought it was a Bible. So he's just doing the 10 Commandments of the playbook to make sure he makes it into heaven. I don't think he understands that it's, you know.
It's funny how there's multiple celebrities that's in on this, because now it's like, okay, who was freaking oh my gosh, the science guy, the old science like kids shows.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yes, he was in on this, and then Al Gore and somebody else was.
So if it wasn't for Al Gore, we wouldn't be talking tonight. Because Al Gore
created the internet.
Al Gore is this.
Al Gore is basically the son of Jesus.
He
according to Al Gore.
Jesus, right?
Exactly. I'm the type of person that has no sight of what party to even go for, even be Republican or Democrat. Because either or, somebody's going to get pissed off at one of those candidates, like people saying about Trump. I kind of don't even, quite frankly, even give a crap about the guy. I'm sorry, not to offend anyone.
Well, without getting political, I would say that didn't surprise me. Even though, because the worst part about it is they're two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yep. So
that's how I
that doesn't surprise me at all.
Rice cake.
Rice cake.
I'm young-minded.
That ain't no rice cake.
It's like the whole Greta Thunberg situation. It's like, okay, I like her idea. It's just she needs to simmer down on her aggression. I worry about mass extinction myself. I'm not going to go out there and just say to the UN,
Phil, how dare you?
I worry more about her parents than what they're doing to her.
Yeah, I've never
scaring the shit out of these kids.
No, like okay.
Spoiled brat. Can you imagine being?
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Jesse, you had something to say? Go ahead.
To me, she's like a spoiled brat. Can you imagine being her age and telling your parents, I don't want to go to school? And they ask you why. Well, it'll be climate change. Okay. You don't have to go to school because you're fighting climate change. And then have the money to back her up. That sucks.
That's bad parenting.
A spoiled kid.
Yeah.
The spoiled kid.
Oh God! You want to talk about money? She also thinks that we have a problem because all we talk about is money.
Mm-hmm.
Every person is somewhat greedy. We're all greed. We are all made of greed. We need money to support ourselves. We need to support our assets. You want to talk about how we need money? How we talk about money? We need money. That's the end of the story. That's all I can say out of it.
Well, yeah, trade is trade, right? If we didn't have trade, we'd have
money's
anything.
a man-made concept. Money isn't needed. Money's a concept.
No, right, because you could use anything as money. Anything that someone would consider valuable.
Like a mug, for instance.
Like a mug, for instance.
A mug.
Like a beautiful video calling show mug.
Or maybe my ability to do a roof.
That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all in debt. Even the billionaires are in debt, but we're all in debt in some ways. And it's just, okay, maybe either we give up our money or we do something with it. It's just either or. That's all we can talk about. It's just, how else are we going to support our asses?
We should do a roast.
Do a roast?
What's that?
Yeah, sorry. Just different thought. We should do a roast some night.
Roast Tony?
We should do a roast.
Roast Tony?
I got really excited. I thought
you roast me if you want.
Dinner.
I'm down with this.
I make a better roast master, though.
It looks like a rectal.
Tony, add the word spit on the front of it, and I'll be interested.
Oh.
Tony looks like a rectal.
Wait, a rectal?
A ragdoll.
A ragdoll. Sorry. I thought for sure you said rectal, and I didn't know where that was going at all, Ahmed.
I don't think I want to know.
Well,
I don't either,
Tony,
Arthur.
I'm with you, Arthur.
Oh, my
Tony
Lord.
Can't hold it.
I can't.
Ahmed gets a haircut and suddenly he wants to fucking time me up and shove things at me.
Oh no.
He's gonna have to change his
Don't
name to
do it.
KY Jelly Dog.
I'm crying.
Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Oh, Pia says she wants to come back in and we're going to roast Tony.
No, keep working on your thumbnails, Pia.
Yeah. Honestly, I would just be surprised whoever has got a roast about me because of all the times I've been dicking around in this show.
I'd fucking roast you, bro.
Well, the one thing, I'm not going to do that because you know how ugly that can get, and a lot of people can't take that sort of comedy when it's directed at them.
No.
Do it on my show.
Oh,
I'm fine.
Yeah, do it on your show, Tony.
I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
If political correctness is out of the window, then I would be interested in joining in if you wouldn't mind. But I need to do the jokes I want to do without people being blooming calling.
I mean, in all truth, though, get somebody that's known well in the community, not somebody who thinks they know well in the community, but somebody who actually is, like you, Jim. And then we get,
he's well known.
and then you get a bunch of people that.
I'll go.
Then you get a bunch of people that are friends or colleagues or whatever, and you do seriously have a fucking roast. I think it'd be hilarious.
The only yeah, I think it would be too. The only roast I think that I'd want to host is one for me because I know I can take it.
Ooh, let's roast Jim.
Yeah. Jim. Oh wait, I would say a roast right now, but I don't want to get kicked off.
No, it's far too late for a roast tonight. I'm gonna have to bring this one to a close here soon. Another early Monday.
I was about to say, Tony, do you have Discord by chance? Just a random question.
I do.
Cool.
We're in the same Discord group together.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I might as well just add you real quick. So when your live stream come up,
I was watching the other day when fucking Drunk Kings was telling you should be Jim's fucking co-host. I was there.
Oh yeah, that was you. You were Brad.
It wasn't me. Brad did.
Okay, I was gonna say,
but it was fucking hilarious either way.
He's by the way, they're talking about the Video Call-In Show Discord. That is Video Call-In Show 6585.
He was getting very well with Brandon.
As Jim advertises.
Hey, Jelly Duck, but what is that, man? What is that green liquid you're getting ready to drink? It's not cough syrup, is it?
It's actually called a Double Dare, which is from Egypt.
Is it an energy drink?
No. It's a carbonated drinks.
Oh,
it's called. Would you say it's called Double Dare?
A double dare.
It's not from Nickelodeon.
Is it? Is it alcoholic?
No, carbonated. That's a carbonated.
Interesting.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention that if you want to keep in touch with Jim outside the show, Jim's also a part of the YouTube Creator Lounge on Facebook.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The brand new group on Facebook called the YouTube Creators Lounge. And if you're a creator, you're more than welcome to come join.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Look it up. Apply.
So if you're not Brad, are you? Wait. What's your Discord user? Just kind of throw it out there.
I do have a Discord.
I mean, if you don't want to say it right now, that's fine. I don't care.
It's viewed this.
Oh.
Yeah, just viewed this.
It's just view this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was quiet for a second because I just realized that you didn't know who the hell it was, and now you suck my ass.
View this.
Hey, Tony, don't worry. I'll definitely view this. Drop the mic on that one.
Well, guys, listen. Do we have anything else to say about the actual topic at hand? Anyone else want to chime in on that?
Smoke some weed.
I actually do want to say something.
Hold on.
Sure. Wait. Tony, go ahead. He was first in that line.
God damn it.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say this whole thing got derailed when Phil showed up, right? So don't blame me. Secondly,
I don't care.
He's just poking at you, Phil. Go ahead.
I'm just fucking with you.
I know.
But in all seriousness, I just want everyone to know this is true and serious. I have a relative who suffers from muscle atrophy from lightning strikes and some other things that have happened, and can no longer work. And the doctors had him on morphine forever. So not only was morphine killing him on the inside, eating his brain away, and it was tearing him apart. And he went to the doctor and told the doctor, I've taken myself, like, he had to go in for they test you to make sure that your levels are right, and he had to tell him I took myself off morphine. He'd been off for like 40 days. So his insurance company was going to drop him because he got injured, and then and he was on long-term disability, and then years later the atrophy started setting in from the other things, you know what I mean, and from his injury. But the insurance company was like, "Hey man, if you're not taking that medicine, we got to think that you're not hurt." And he had actually switched over to marijuana instead. He replaced morphine with marijuana, and his insurance company accepted that because we do medical marijuana in the state. So, but crazy, right? So
it's cool.
So yeah, so I just want to tell you guys that, you know, that I have a relative that benefits tremendously from it, and I know the benefits of it as well, and I know that recreationally it's a lot of fun for some people, whatever, but there's a lot of good to this. So I know a lot of people out there don't, you know, they think marijuana is stupid and all that or whatever. You know, as long as you're cool with the medical part of it, I don't care what you think about recreational marijuana.
Right.
Medically, I think as humans, I think it's a great thing for all of us.
Yeah, I agree.
The joint is not the point to legalize marijuana. It's not about the joint. There's more important things and reasons to legalize it than smoking a joint.
That's true. That is absolutely true. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Anyone else want to chime in on that?
I kind of do.
Go ahead, Phil.
The only thing I'm willing to just say this and just throw it out there. I do feel the need that in work unions and like other like driving up like vehicles or something, I do agree that it should not be allowed to be used for like, you know, going into work high and shit.
No, you don't. Right. You don't do that. You don't go into work drunk either.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Exactly.
Same thing.
Right, you know?
Weed is equivalent of getting your ass drunk. It just lasts a tad bit longer when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Anyone else?
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I gotta get
I just want to say goodbye. One more thing, Jim.
Sure, go ahead,
Jesse. If you guys want to know about the history and how this all became where we are right now, look up a book called "The Emperor Wears No Clothes" by Jack Herrera. He's the founder of Normal. The book is awesome. He uses all of the government's paperwork to prove that they've been lying to you all this time, to show you how these laws came about, why we should be using it. Really good book to check out. I had it at one time, but let somebody borrow it. They never bought it back, and I don't remember who I let borrow it.
Well, hey, Jesse, if you think about it, man, drop a link in the comments, will you?
Just here. Just type in "The Emperor Wears No Clothes," and actually there's a PDF that you can download. I have it on my phone. "Emperor Wears No Clothes," Jack Herrera.
Okay, we'll do.
All right.
Gamer, did you had something to pipe in on that, didn't you?
Oh.
Last thoughts on this subject?
Don't worry about me, old Jimmy boy. Don't worry about me, my friend. I'm fine.
One last thing.
Oh my gosh, what the heck? Hey, I know I said my part, but let me throw this in real quick.
Sure.
Just goes to you in the comments. Smoke weed every day. Did you catch that?
Yep. Smoke weed every day.
I mean, Snoop Dogg had a pretty valid point. So take that into mind.
You should call him Snoop Lion, I guess.
Snoop Lion, yeah. No, I don't know.
Has he changed his name?
Sausage.
Yes, he did.
He always
wonderful.
changes it.
Yeah, he just went to Jamaica.
All right, guys.
Let's not get into the conversation.
Yeah, honestly.
Betamax.
Thanks to everybody for chiming in on this. I thought it was a great subject, and I'm with all of you too. I think we should.
Good topic.
Thanks.
Good topic.
Thanks, Ahmed. Appreciate it, man. Well, we should talk about that sometime soon, Ahmed. How they treat it in your country, if at all. So, but we can't. We don't have time to do that tonight. But listen, guys, thanks so much. And
thank you, Jim.
We'll do this again.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Hey, Pusha Studios, I see you out there. And Mr. Lodak.
Whoa.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to say, Tony, that joke's getting fucking old.
Bye, guys.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
Oh, man. So, what do you guys think? After getting the opinion of all the guests we had on tonight, are you in agreement? Do you think that we should actually legalize it here in the States? Because I certainly do. And I don't think I'm going to change that opinion. I think it would actually save lives. It would virtually eliminate the black market. And it would help so many people, especially on the medical marijuana side. So I'm throwing my hat in that ring, even though I have no desire whatsoever to go down that road. None. If it were legalized and I was offered, I would just say no. But that would be true if I was a non-drinker as well. Guys, I'm going to call it a night. I do want to say hello to Baby Girl Mining Company. Welcome. I came in late. Good to see you. And Pusa Studios, I saw you came in. Good to see you, either Andrew and or Zenya. And WTF Mike, good to see you as well, man. Thanks all you guys for being here. Thanks to my guests. You guys were fantastic. And of course, thanks to everyone in the chat. Tomorrow night, I want to gotta plug a show. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about those recipes, excuse me, that you would use, or that you're really accustomed to in these special, right in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And that is the eating time, at least for the most part in the States, and I imagine for most of the world. I want to know about those recipes that you normally find at your family gatherings, recipes that are always asked for, and what what are your favorites? That's tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you, of course, I'm going to say make sure that you treat everyone like you want to be treated. If we all did that, this world would be a great place. Thanks once again for being here, folks. If this is your type of show, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and ring that bell. And we'll see you live.